She danced through palaces in peril, from the candlelit courts of Europe to the blood-stained stones of the Tower. Anne Boleyn was no mere queen. She was a storm in velvet, a woman who defied kings and paid the price in silence. Welcome back to Porcelain Graves TV. Tonight, we trace her journey from noble birth to execution. Through love, betrayal, and the shadows of power, Anne Boleyn was born between 1501 and 1507, likely at Blickling Hall or Hever Castle, homes wrapped in ivy and ambition. Her father, Thomas Boleyn, was a rising diplomat. Her mother, Elizabeth Howard, descended from one of England's most powerful families. From the start, Anne was destined for more than embroidery and obedience. At just 12 or 13, Anne was sent across the Channel to the glittering court of Margaret of Austria, Regent of the Netherlands. Margaret, a cultured and formidable woman, wrote to Thomas Boleyn praising Anne's wit and charm, calling her so bright and pleasant for her young age. In Macallan, and absorbed the elegance of continental diplomacy, the art of conversation, and the quiet power of presence. From there, she journeyed to France, serving Queen Claude, wife of King Francois I. The French court was a world of silken secrets, where Anne learned grace, fashion, and flirtation, but also discretion. She may have crossed paths with Marguerite of Valois and even glimpsed Leonardo da Vinci, who lived nearby at close. Anne became known for her musical talent, her dancing, and her sharp tongue. She was no ornament. She was a force. Plans were made to marry her to her Irish cousin, James Butler, 9th Earl of Ormond. The match was political, meant to settle a dispute over the Ormond inheritance, but negotiations faltered, and Anne remained unwed. Then came Henry Percy, young, noble, and passionate. Percy fell deeply for Anne while serving in Cardinal Wolsey's household. They pledged themselves in secret, defying their families and the court. But the match was forbidden. Percy was already promised to marry Talbot, and Anne was considered beneath him. Wolsey, furious, ended the affair publicly. Percy was humiliated. Anne was heartbroken. By 1526, another man had noticed her, King Henry VIII. Unlike her sister Mary, who had been Henry's mistress, Anne refused to yield. She would not be a lover, only a wife. Henry's obsession grew. He wrote her letters filled with longing and promises. To marry Anne, he sought to annul his union with Catherine of Aragon. When the Pope refused, Henry broke from Rome, birthing the Church of England. Anne was crowned queen in 1533. She gave birth to Elizabeth, but no sons followed. Miscarriages, court rivalries, and Henry's swandering eye, especially toward Jane Seymour, turned Anne's triumph into tragedy. In 1536, Anne was arrested, charged with adultery, incest, and treason. She was tried by a jury that included her former love, Henry Percy. The evidence was thin, was death. On May 19th, Anne walked to the scaffold in a gray gown, her hair tucked beneath a hood. She spoke calmly. "I am come hither to die. I pray God save the king." A French swordsman ended her life with one swift stroke. Her body was buried in an unmarked grave. Her legacy, however, was immortal. Anne Boleyn's story is stitched with silk and blood. She was a girl of letters, a woman of fire, and a queen who changed the world. Her daughter Elizabeth would rule for decades, but Anne's reign lasted only 3 years. Was she a victim, a visionary, or both? Let me know in the comments. And if you crave more tales where history meets haunting, subscribe and ring the bell. Until next time, keep your candle lit.